Hi there, my name is Shayantan from Express Computer, and today we are thrilled to be here at the fifth edition of the Technology Senate South in Hyderabad. Today we have a very special guest with us. We have Mr. Manikandan Thangarathnam, the Senior Director, Platform Engineering of Uber. Hi, Mani, how are you?
Very good.
We had an amazing session with you today, the Fireside Chat. And you also listened to other Fireside Chats, other sessions as well. What is the biggest takeaway from today?
See, the key thing here is one of the reasons why a lot of people are showing up in this conference is the problems that we have are becoming more and more complex, right? And the problems that we are solving are also similar set of problems. So, what is the biggest learning for me is I am very interested to see how different companies are approaching these problems. What steps they are taking. Some people are very aggressive on leveraging AI. Some people are like, hey, let's be very cautious, but then take a very thoughtful step towards that. Some people are like, so the kind of ways they are solving is very different. That's a good learning for us, right? And that's why I show up in these conferences to learn a lot and see, how it can be applicable in our context.
Right. So, like, we have this as a August of different technology leaders from different industries coming together in one particular roof, under one particular roof. So, what do you think? How it is helping the ecosystem in large?
Well, that's also great, right? It's not about the same, like I'm from a product company, right? But as you said here, you have people from BSFI and bunch of different types of segments, right? And that is also very interesting to see the kind of problems which we thought was very simple is actually a big problem in their context. And vice versa also. The kind of problems that we felt is very complex, it's actually solved in a very simple fashion in their side, right? So it's actually very good to understand overall context of how different companies are approaching this and what kind of problems are surfacing in a digital first company versus a physical first company, right? And it's a completely different ball game. And and we also have a lot of vendors here who are selling their products and see how it can be integrated through the platforms so that it can be solved in a much faster fashion, right? And we see a lot of companies are actually integrating, right? And usually in product companies it's all more about just build. There is no buy option or there is no, so that's also a good learning for me to figure out, hey, what solutions exist in the market, right? How are they leveraging and solving their things much faster, right? Should we even explore that option or should we just build it from our side, and can it scale for the volumes and the scale that we have, right? So that's a good learning for me during the sessions.
Right. Like, as a technology leader at Uber, what would you say has been the most difficult challenge that you have faced, and how, with the help of technology, did you overcome it?
So in Uber, because of the growth that Uber has been constantly seeing, what things we thought, the problems that we thought that we have solved may not be solved in another 2 years. Like for example, if we have a technological solution and it's working great, doesn't mean that it will work great forever,
Right.
right? So what was stable in 2020 may not be something which will work now just because of the scale and just because of the number of use cases that got introduced in the last 2 3 years, right? So evolving systems on a mature platform itself is a very interesting and a hard challenge. And when you evolve those kind of systems at a Uber scale, where your downtime needs to be zero, but at the same time you want to evolve the core systems which is powering those to tackle so that it can support for the next 5 years, makes it very interesting and challenging, right? How do we do that now with so many technologies in place? Which technology should be leveraged and what technology should be used so that it can be supported for the next 5 years, right? Those are all like hardcore, very engineering problems.
Right.
That makes it very interesting for the engineers, and also that makes it very interesting for leaders like us to see how we evolve technologies to support for the use case, not just for today, for the next 5 years. And with the growth that we are seeing, it's very hard to predict what will be the growth in the next 5 years also.
So, do you have any tangible impact that you can share with us?
Yeah. So there are a lot of, maybe from Uber side, I'll give you some context on, user-facing problems that we have solved. So it's easy for you to understand more than the platformish problems, which actually helps us in scale and other things, right? One of the things that we actually launched very recently is metro ticketing,
Right.
right? So instead of we integrating with each individual metro ticketing partner, we took an approach with integrating with ONDC platform, right? And that's like supported by government, and it's very interesting that government is taking the hard problem of integrating with multiple things and exposing as a single API. We leverage and integrated with ONDC platform. We launched that in Delhi. Now it's supported in Chennai Metro, and now we have just few weeks back we have launched that in Bangalore Metro. So that's a very interesting thing where you integrate with a common platform which takes care of integration with multiple things, right? I mean, in fact, we launched Uber Direct on top of ONDC platform, right? So that shows the power of platform. This is something that this in this example, the platform is lying outside of Uber context. I can give a lot of examples around platform inside Uber, where once you do that, then it solves a lot of use cases like this.
So did you do any partnerships or any onboarded any vendor for this?
Most of the most of the things are built by us, right? Of course, we took a dependency on ONDC platform where we are calling their APIs, right? But apart from that, the whole thing is in-house, right? And with software becoming easier to build with all these AI tools, I think we should be able to build. And Uber has great engineers, great opportunity for engineers to come on board. So it's a great place to come on work and build these kind of softwares.
One last question. As an user, for us, is something exciting coming up for us from the Uber side for the next year?
Yeah, definitely. Right. See, as a user, right, always people want to move. They want to move faster, in a more reliable fashion, and with less cost. Right. And even after 2 years, you will say the same thing. I want to move faster. I want to move in a more reliable fashion and at less cost. Right. So just refining this with all this AI, leveraging AI ML itself is a good thing, which will have a definitive good impact on the users. Right. Apart from that, of course, we are building on a lot of new products, right? Yeah, of course, auto and moto are something which now you can use in Uber platform. We launched metro ticketing, right? And we are going to launch few more, verticals. We call them these as verticals to enable more use cases for users to, use Uber to just move around.
Right, amazing. Thank you so much, Vinit, for joining us today at Technology Center South in Hyderabad. Thank you.